Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, I of course am the FPL Train, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 3 possible transfers we could make ahead of Game Week 9. Now what you probably did notice when you clicked on the thumbnail, this is a very short video compared to normal. I am currently on holiday, so I can't look back on the previous Game Week on the 3 transfers recommended there. So unfortunately I'm doing this video before Game Week even 8 started, so hopefully these 3 players are not completely irrelevant by the time Game Week 9 comes around. But anyway, we'll get into it, so fingers crossed this works out a treat. So starting us off is the defender, and that's of course Nori of Wolverhampton. So fingers crossed he did not have a disastrous game against Man City and got sent off. But anyways, his fixtures going forward for Wolves are pretty decent, and he has been probably one of their best players in a season where they've been awful, absolutely awful. He's still yet to win a game as I'm speaking. So I mean, if amazingly they beat Man City, then yeah, that's phenomenal. But I can't see that happen. So I'm going to say they still haven't won a game yet this season. They got that point against Forest. Maybe they got a point against Man City. I don't know, but they've been awful. But this guy has been their best player. Well, one of their best players. So one of their better players, and he's got 2 goals. 2 assists for the season, which is phenomenal for a defender. It's what you want, and considering as well he keeps leaking in goals his team does, you know, you gotta say he's pretty much a must-have at this moment in time. Last 2 games as well, Brentford and Liverpool got 9 pointers, scored in both of those games, believe it or not, and got an assist as well as against Brentford. So yeah, he's in hot form. He's probably their better defender. He started the last 3 games and started all games this season, and he's got 90 minutes in all 3 of these games. So that is something to, you know, look at as well. So his minutes are really good, and the fixtures going forward are really decent, to be fair. So yes, Brighton is going to be really tricky in Game Week 9, right? He probably will concede, but the way Brighton play, they concede goals all the time. It's mad, absolutely crazy. So there's a chance that he could get maybe another goal or another assist. You just don't know. But after that, you look at the likes of Crystal Palace at home, decent at the minute. Southampton, another home fixture, so that's back-to-back home fixtures in 10 and 11. Then he's playing the likes of Fulham, Bournemouth, and then it goes on, and he plays the likes of Everton, West Ham, Ipswich, and Leicester City. That is an absolute unreal run for Wolves and Nori, and obviously he's going to be starting every game, I reckon. And if he continues the way he is, it just feels like an no-brainer. And he's 4.4 million, so he's an absolute bargain. So if there's a player that you've got around about the 4.5 million you don't really like, who's not playing, get in Nori, because I think he's going to do really well going forward. Now, when it came to looking at what midfielders to recommend to go for ahead of Game Week 9, it was really quite tricky, if I'm being honest, because the best teams, I think, at the moment in time, have got some tricky fixtures really going forward. There's not many teams that actually have a good run of fixtures. Everton's one. Fulham's another, but I looked at Fulham and I've recommended Smith Rowe enough, and apart from that, there's not really anybody there I would recommend, if I'm being honest. Wolves as well, also an unbelievable run, but their high scoring midfielder in FPL is Lemina. That says it all for Wolves in midfield, so there's nothing really there. So Everton is another one who's got a great run of fixtures. So I've gone for, obviously as you see it, Dwight McNeil. I hate saying it because I don't really like it, but his fixtures now are actually really good. So it's probably worth going for. He's one of Sean Dyche's favourite players, so he's definitely going to be starting. He's only been taken out of the game early once, and that's when he got 2 goals against Crystal Palace. I mean, obviously he might have got taken off early against Ipswich. I don't know. He might have smashed against Ipswich and got a load of goals. So everybody's probably looking at getting him in now. But before this, obviously, game week against Ipswich, you know, he's looked all right. He's got a couple of goals. He's got, so far, 3 goals, 2 assists, which is pretty decent, to be fair. I mean, I don't like it, but at the same time, you can't ignore it. Just because you don't like it, you don't like the way Everton have been this season, their fixtures now are good. So Everton can turn things around now. They might have already started that against Ipswich and got a win. But yeah, going forward, likes of Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford, you know, United, which you could say is easy at the moment, and obviously Wolves. So they've got a good run coming up. He is their best option, not going to lie. There isn't really anybody else in the Everton midfield, in my opinion, worth going for. You could say Jack Harrison, but he doesn't start enough games, so that's the issue you've got there. So, yeah, I think McNeil is probably the best option to go for. And like I said, there's not many options with the fixtures we've got, in my opinion, to really go for. And finally, with the striking option, I felt like this was an easy one if I'm being completely honest. I mean, I could be completely wrong because for all I know, he probably got sent off against Aston Villa or got seriously injured. So it could be completely irrelevant. Hopefully that isn't the case and he did really well. But of course, that is Raul Jimenez of Fulham. The guy's been, fantastic so far this season. Got 3 goals this season and he's got 1 assist. We all didn't expect this, to be honest. Let's face it. When we were doing our teams, we were all saying get Muniz in instead. I mean, I'm really glad that I didn't do that in the end. But yeah, Raul Jimenez has basically gone, you ain't going to score. I'll show you how to score goals. He's got 3 goals in the last 4 games, which is phenomenal. Obviously, he didn't start the first 3 game weeks. So since he's been starting, he scored 3 goals and got 1 assist. So he's got a return every game he started. So that's something to obviously look at. I mean, obviously, I don't know how Aston Villa game got on, so he might have blanked in that game week. But regardless of that, the fixtures now going on, for Fulham is great. He's got Fulham. He is Fulham. He's got Everton in game week 9, decent for him. Then he's got Brentford, vacancy goals. Crystal Palace are all over the place right now. Wolves are hitting rock bottom at this current moment in time. Then he's even got the likes of Spurs. I mean, Spurs don't know how. They don't defend, and neither do Brighton. So he's got a great run coming up. He's already got off to a great start. This could be the Raul Jimenez of Wolves at, when he was quality. It looks like he could possibly be back, scoring goals, getting assists, and he's only 5.6 million as well. So he's an absolute bargain to get right now. I mean, there's quite a few decent options up front that are around 5.6 million. Another one, of course, is Cunha of Wolves. I think he's 5.6 million or something like that. You know what? I've probably got that completely wrong now, and he's probably 6.5 million. I'm just having a double check. So yeah, I was completely wrong, and he's 6.5 million. But his partner in Larson is 5.5 million. So yeah, either way, I think Raul Jimenez is an absolute quality option to go for. Again, when you're looking at strikers to go for, another one I would probably recommend is Chris Wood right now because he's got a couple of decent fixtures coming up, so that is possibly worth looking at. But apart from that, maybe a Liam Delap. There's not many other strikers, I would say. You could argue Solanke, but I think they're hot and cold with Spurs are with their fixtures at this moment in time. But yeah, those are the 3 players I'm going to be recommending for Game Week 9. Hopefully, there was no issues in Game Week 8 for any of them, and I don't look like a complete tip. But yeah, Aït-Nouri at the back, Dwight McNeil in midfield, and Raul Jimenez up front. Obviously, don't go for all 3. If you just want to go for one of them, that is absolutely fine. These are just options you could look at going for. I'm not saying get these players. These are just some options of players that have got decent fixtures coming up. But like I said, fingers crossed they didn't get absolutely destroyed in Game Week 8. But yeah, let me know what you think of these 3 players that I'm recommending ahead of Game Week 9. Let me know what players you're looking at going for Game Week 9. Maybe you're not going for these 3 players. Maybe you think I'm an absolute tit. Let me know what you think in the comments. And well, before you go, please and well, do not forget to hit that like button, smash subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.